Hey y'all, welcome back for another episode of Candy Coated Shenanigans, Sour Patch Kid Edition. Only way I really know how to be. Working on some things. Thank you for tuning in for another week. I'm excited for the things that we are going to talk about today. I had to make some adjustments in my schedule to make this work, but you know, what's life without a couple of Sour Patches thrown your way? So without further ado, we are going to get started. So this is the fourth week of the month, Transparent Moments. I had a special guest planned for you all this week, and it just kind of didn't feel like now was the right time. She has a lot of stuff going on, so we are just going to push her to a different month, and I'm just gonna throw some transparent moment stuff at y'all to catch. Whew, I don't know about nobody else, but these last 7 days have been working my entire nerves. But I did have a wonderful therapy session this week. My therapist actually fit in some additional time, and I have some things that I'll have to work on. So a little bit of transparent moment will be incorporating some stuff that I picked up in therapy, and the other half is just, it's just a lot, y'all. Okay, so it's gonna sound like I ramble at certain spots because my mind is still processing these moments of life, right? Which is the joy, having transparent ass real moments with y'all right on the fly. So, as I said, I had therapy this week. I had some things that I felt were occurring around me that were triggers for me. And you ever feel like you go into therapy to kind of complain about some stuff people did to you, and then they read you, and you really have to work on the things that you do to yourself, right? Yeah. So I go to therapy for self-work, but I didn't expect what occurred. But my biggest takeaway from therapy this week was that I give away my peace to people when I get into disagreements, arguments, whatever, and I go 0 to 100. That in reality, they didn't take something from me. I freely gave it to them. So that is something that I will be working on, how to stay grounded in peace, how to work through some conflict resolutions a bit better, and just remembering that I am in control of me, and I need to stay in that place that is most peaceful. And when I'm out of that place, the only person that's really hurting is me in the end. So it was very eye-opening. That's not what I thought. That was not what I thought she was going to really tell me after I told her about these two situations that I was navigating through. Because, you know, I'm not perfect, y'all, but in my mind, I wasn't wrong. And I don't sit before you now feeling like I was wrong in what I was trying to say. I definitely was wrong in how I delivered that message, and then how I reacted based on how I felt they responded to my message. So, you know, woosah, working through it. But another thing that came up, and this has come up a couple of times over the last 2 weeks. So I felt it was important to address and give it the proper time it needed. One of the things that I know for certain, I know the people in my life that love me, right? That want the best for me. And sometimes we want those people to be our go-to people, right? Because they love you, they want the best for you. They know hopefully that you can do it. They're going to be an encourager for you. And then sometimes we go to them and we don't get the response we wanted. I don't know if that happened to y'all. That at this point, I already know who to go to and not to go to. You can love me all in the world, but some things I'll be like, oh no, not you. But we do that. And sometimes it is, you know, maybe it's a best friend, maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your dad, but you always walk away feeling like it's lacking. Why did you not give me the energy I thought you should have given me? Why did it not feel like you really support this? Or why does it seem like you push so hard against something I want so much? And as I was talking, and I've said this before, but I understand it on a little bit of a deeper level through some recent things. But I have said before, and I will say it again, people around you can want the best for you, but when they have not experienced the levels you're going to, there's fear and there is doubt. And they can and will, if you allow them to, they will project those things on you. It's not to say they don't love you. It's not to say they want to sabotage you. It's just they can't see your vision, your dream, okay? And it's important to remember that when you share your visions and your dreams and your aspirations with people. Like, if you don't have the tough skin to withstand the fact that people are going to doubt it, then don't share it. That's me keeping it 100 with you. If you can't handle some pushback from people or some doubt from people, then keep it to yourself and work through the process. And then, ta-da, when it's all done. And that's okay. That's okay. Because I have certain things that I'll share in beginner phases because my mind is so set on it. Like I literally can reach out and touch it in the air. So nothing you say is going to stop me. And then I have other things that I keep close to my heart because it's still fragile and I'm stepping out on faith, and your seed of doubt could literally unravel everything that I'm supposed to do. And it's important to know what you need to keep within and things that you can share out and have tough skin and let it roll. Right. So I knew that and I've known that. But in some more recent situations, I have realized that, and this stems from family stuff. Most of my aha moments pertain to family stuff because I have to deal with my family a little bit differently than I deal with the world. My aha moment was, I know this person loves me, has all the love in the world for me. I have no doubt there at all. But what I realized in the midst, and it had upset me. It didn't stop me, but it upset me. And I just was like, I don't understand why you just can't see it. I don't understand why, why you would say that. Like, why would you put that in the atmosphere? But what I had to realize, and I think a lot of us have to realize about the people around us, they want the best for us, but what's the best, right? I want the best for me, but my view is limited. Right? My view does not look like God's view. God's best for me does not match my best for me. His far exceeds mine, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm glad that even though I doubt what can happen, he continuously shows me, like, baby girl, you thought that's what it was. That's not what it is. We about to go up here. And I move in that, but take it a step further. Other people want the best for you, but whose level of best? They want the best for what they can see, right? What they envision you doing. And sometimes we become frustrated because, like, you be like, I know you want the best for me, but like, this ain't it. Like, I see bigger. I'm going to do better. Like, why would you ever think that I can't achieve more? But we have to remember, the same way we put limits on ourselves, other people do as well, because they see us within a box or within a realm or within a space, and they see that and they're like, oh, that's great for her, or that's great for him. And that's what they project out. And that's beautiful. That is a beautiful thing. But do not allow the fact that other people's best is a limited view to become your reality. Just do not allow that. I've learned that in the past, but I have seen it through different eyes in the last couple of weeks. Like, somebody can genuinely want the best for you, but their best could still be beneath what your best is. And that's okay. That's okay. Like, they still love you. But the real work is finding the middle ground of like, thank you for what your vision is, but my vision is big, right? It's almost like, I feel like that's what God says to us. Thank you for what your vision was, but my vision is bigger for you. And we flow and function differently in that. But I think we need to find some compassion and love and respect in those areas of not thinking that everybody is out to sabotage us, but more so that they have a limited sight, right? When you deal with glasses, right? Some people need glasses to see literally right in front of them, and some people need glasses to see out in the distance. They still can see, but they need something to help them get the sight right. It's the same component when you are foreseeing or see things for other people. Like, it doesn't mean your sight is 100% right. There are some things that are going to have to come in and navigate itself to assist the vision. So don't allow other people's limits or comments or concerns or fears to really block what you are supposed to be doing. And like I said before, if your skin is not tough to hear their doubts, then don't share them until you're at a place where you're ready to share. I did a whole financial business, and I'm not gonna hold you. All of 3 people knew in my planning process. And one of them was because she was literally meeting with me bi-weekly to help me put together a game plan. And then when I was ready, I gave my friends business cards and all types of stuff. And they was like, what is this? This is what this is. And it's not that I didn't think they were going to support me. It was just that I was stepping out on faith and I wasn't ready for feedback. Now, I'm not weak when it comes to things. So I take feedback, but I wasn't ready for it in that stage. And then when I was, I shared it and I got great feedback, and I've been doing things and they've been supportive. But you have to know your limits too. You have to know where you are strong and where you need some extra strength and need to do some things in the dark. And the light will bestow upon you when it's time to. So that's important to remember. And it is also important to remember, I am not a parent, right? I do not have children yet, but I interact with plenty of parents, and I have parents, right? And even at the age of 33, I am still learning them. I'm learning how to navigate their personalities and opinions in my adult life. I think what it is important to remember as a parent is when you're dealing with your child is you want the best for them, but your best and their best don't always align. And you need to continuously work to be respectful of that. I think sometimes parents keep you in this childlike view, even in adulthood. But you're not a kid anymore. A lot of y'all, hopefully, are not kids and acting like kids. But parents project things out, like y'all really be treating people like little kids. And I don't say that y'all like as if I'm not incorporating that. My mother still treats me like a little kid. I be having to tell her, like, listen, Mom, 33, I pay my own bills, do my own thing. Like, I've been out the house for a little bit. Like, I'm an adult. So, you know, the relationship is going to shift and change. And I think my bit of advice there would just be supportive, right? It's already a scary road to travel when you're stepping out and doing something different. Be supportive and be mindful. And last component of a transparent moment is we are given things in life that we ask ourselves why. I got a lot. Like, if God called me on the main line tomorrow, even though I don't have a list, I could very quickly get a list. to ask him like, why this, why that, why this, why that? And not even like little petty things. Like I got for real questions like, why did I need to deal with this? Like, why did you give this to me? Blah, blah, blah. And one of the things that we can't control that we're dealt is our family. And there are things that you will see or feel like your family does, or and the outside world can see it and they will look at it as harmful or as negative or as hurtful. But I think the thing to remember is, yes, you have jealousy and problems within family. That's in any family, period. But you also have the fact that some people have not had the opportunities that you've had. Some people have not taken the time to grow, to identify things, to get over things, to deal with past traumas. Actually, a lot of people haven't. And I'm realizing that more and more each day as I work on my own stuff. How many people have not done work? It drives me insane. But that's it's a whole different storytelling time. But you have people who have not done the work. So they will give you advice and opinions and suggestions from a place that they're still in, right? If they did it as a kid and it didn't seem to really mess them up, then they think it's okay for you to do it. If they endured something and in the end they came out on top, they may say, well, you'll be all right. I went through it. She'll get through it. And though that is some toxic stuff, y'all. Like that's toxic for real. Though it is toxic, it does not mean that people don't want the best for you. But again, we go back to the same thing. It's the best based on their limited view of the best. And when you haven't had great things, when you have dealt with trauma and you have had to endure things, but you got through it in the end, sometimes that's the best you see. So sometimes that's the stuff they project out to you. And in therapy, and I wish I had my notebook right in front of me so I could just read it to y'all. But in therapy, my therapist said that there are some things that were implanted in your garden by other people. And that's the truth. There are some things that were implanted in my garden by other people now I'm 33. So I'm going to say for about half my life, there are some things that have been implanted in my garden by other people. The other half of my life has really been me implanting things in my garden. So what's your garden look like? We don't get to sit in a space and blame all of life's hardships on other people when you hit adulthood. Yes, some of us have had some shitty situations occur around us, and some of us have dealt with some things that have been unimaginable. That is correct. Those were implanted by other people. But what have you planted in your garden since? And what have you weeded out of your garden that you didn't plant? That is literally killing components of what could be beautiful flowers and veggies and fruits before you. You have to start taking ownership. We have to start taking ownership. People are going to attempt to seed and sow things in our gardens, but it's only for a small amount of time. And don't get me wrong, it's a very influential amount of time because it's during those stages in which you are learning and growing and interacting and trying to adapt to people in the environment. Sure, but it does not give an excuse for how we continue on day in and day out as people as we go into adulthood. So I hope that was helpful. I hope this provided some just moments of truth for you. If you are on the journey of healing, if you are on the journey of just reflecting, of being honest, of being open, I hope this is really helping you. This helps me. I can't wait to watch this back. I'm probably gonna be like, I need to cut that out, but I'm gonna keep it as 100 as possible. But I hope this is helping people understand just life is tough, but you can do it. Yes, there are other things that people have done to harm or hurt you, but a lot of the harm and hurt we control. Do the soul work, put in the effort and the energy. It will be worth it in the end. And I'm gonna be honest with you, you ain't the only person out here messed up. Listen, sometimes I just be like, why can't I just stay messed up? Like, these other messed up people seem to be all right. Like, why am I doing all this work? But there's more, there's greater purpose and greater that I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm going through the process and I'm doing the work. And I hope you are too. Anytime, if you want to just talk, if you need to message me, whatever, I'm always available for that. Next week will be the first Sunday of the month. So for Sundays are self-care. So we will get into some type of self-care component. I think it's going to be skincare. People have been asking about some skincare stuff, even though I feel like I look a little shiny today. But we'll get into skincare and then we'll keep rotating. I hope this was helpful. Share it, subscribe, be on the lookout. As time goes by, some areas are going to go a lot deeper. My goal is always to keep it 100, right? I feel like we live in a world where a lot of people are not honest, faking things, not keeping it real. And I think that's what we need, especially during this hour of life, is what we need. Hopefully there are some moments where you can laugh with me. You can laugh at me too. I don't really care. And hopefully there are moments where you just take a moment to jot something down and you're like, hey, this is something I need to work on. Let's be better, because that's the only option I guess I have, the way God be having this set up. I hope this is helpful. I will see you all next week.